In the last section, we looked at enterprise presence in a short-term mobility environment. In this section, we're going to talk about what the implications of that enterprise presence actually are in a short-term deployment. And essentially what the implication is that each user needs to manage their presence in two separate places so that every other user knows what their presence status actually is. They need to manage it both through the OCS presence, and they need to manage their standard ShoreTel call handling mode presence. So let's look at an example of that. If I'm a user who's on the road with a ShoreTel mobility client on my smartphone, and I'm walking into a meeting, I need to change my presence in two different places so that everyone knows that I've just walked into a meeting. The first place that I need to go, as we looked at in the last section, is that I need to go into the ShoreTel mobility client itself, and I need to change my presence there. Now that lets all the other ShoreTel mobility users know that I'm not available. The second thing that I need to do is I need to go into the communicator for mobile client, and I need to change my call handling mode. And I need to do that both so non-OCS users see what my presence is, but also so that my call routing rules that I have set up that work with the particular call handling mode that I'm in take effect as well. So OCS presence has no way to trigger different voicemail greetings or different call forwarding paths or things like that. So I also need to go into the ShoreTel mobile communicator client and change myself to in a meeting there as well. Now if I'm a desk-bound ShoreTel user, then I also need to change my presence both for my call handling mode and for my OCS presence so that everyone knows what I'm doing. So you'll notice, and in this case, the communicator window that I have superimposed on top of the ShoreTel mobility client is Juan Seguin. When Juan goes in and changes his call handling mode to let everyone know that he's in a meeting, that doesn't in any way propagate out to the mobility client. Once he also goes into his OCS status and changes that to Do Not Disturb, every user is now informed that he's not available. So it's not perfect, but until the advent of a truly unified client, this is the scenario that we need to be aware of. This really doesn't have any commercial implications, since when you look at the mobility client license, you actually get both the ShoreTel mobility client and the mobile communicator client, but it does have functional implications, as you can see.